So I want to welcome everyone that are coming in. Dr. Emerie, you're welcome. Dr. Emerie, can you unmute yourself, please? Okay, I can see Andrew Roland, Esther Onwoka, Michael Tobechi, Olayinka James, Tonia Uzeziobo. I can see most of our students are online already. You're welcome, everyone. The country director of Rome Business School is represented. He'll be joining us soon for this company visit to Marina group of companies. Now, I'll quickly run through the agenda for today's event. We'll try to be as fast as possible. Okay, so the first is to introduce this Rome Business School Nigeria Master students, and we'll run through the background of the company, a keynote speech by our keynote speaker today, and we'll do a video tour. Due to the current pandemic, this is supposed to be a physical exercise. But due to the current pandemic, we have to look for other ways, other avenues where we can continue with today's activity. And that's how we came up with the virtual visit. So I want to thank Dr. Emerie for agreeing to partake, or for us to partake in this exercise virtually. It was initially planned to be physical, but we had to do it virtually. So I believe everyone understands the situation. Okay, so we are going to run through. We have a 5 minutes talk by the representatives and the Q&A session. Please, as the event will be going on, if you have any question, you can type it in the chat platform, okay, to be attended to. Okay, so we also have remark from the MBA and the data science master students, and the closing remarks by the country director. So this is just like a run through of today's event. This is our first company visit of the year. I'm sure there are many more to come. So this is an opportunity to network with a company that is renowned for doing business, and also an individual in the person of Dr. Emerie, who have gone through his profile. I'm quite impressed with his achievements, and I believe that we stand to learn a lot in today's event. So quickly, let me move to the first item on today's agenda, which is the background of the company today. Just a brief, so I'll try to use our time. Dr. Emerie to please greet those of us that are present, please. Hello, Dr. Emerie. Sorry, I don't seem to have your audio. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, am I audible enough?
Yes, yes, of course. Please go on.
Oh, great. Good evening, Mr. Christopher. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure being on your platform this afternoon. Thank you, Rome Business School, and we hope we'll have a great time.
All right. Thank you very much. You can mute yourself now. Okay, a quick run through of the company profile of Marina Group. Marina Group is a company founded in 2007, and through its subsidiaries provides project development, financial solutions, and the head office is located at Ogudu, GRA, here in Lagos. The company also engages in the development and execution of water supply, sewage collection, water treatment, wastewater treatment projects, as well as operates a commercial TV channel. In addition, it has investments in energy, banking, education, agriculture, telecommunication, retail, advertising, haulage, and business consulting. Okay? So Marina Group has an operational base in Lagos, like I said earlier, and also has a business interest in the Middle East, Asia, and Europe. A quick description of the keynote speaker today in the person of Dr. Emerie. So, before I go on, I would like Mr. Philip, please, can you run us through the video, the virtual tour, please? Mr. Philip, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. Christopher.
We would like for us to pay particular attention to this aspect of the session. We'll have a video that will tell us more about the Marina Group as a company. And please stay tuned. Mr. Philip, you have the floor.
Marina Group LLC headquarters. This is the outward view of the organization. These are some banners illustrating the subsidiaries of Marina Group, the Agro Food and Farms, the ISM&A Selectables, Green Farm Real Estate, HG&W Consulting Limited, iBusiness School, Yellow Communications, Allied Atlantic, and Quick Cash and Savings. This is a roll-up banner for Allied Atlantic, and we are in the reception of the organization now. This is the administrative department of the organization. This is the CIS office, the Customer Interactive Service Department of the organization. Afternoon, Mr. Bernard. Yeah. This is Mr. Bernard, the CIS Business Development Officer. So, Mr. Bernard, please can we just hear something from you?
Okay, so CIS department, the customer interactive section, and we are in charge of handling companies' customer relationship management, the social media pages, and all. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernard.
All right, thank you.
So this is the workstation of the organization.
So this is a workstation where things are gotten done. Good afternoon, Mr. James.
Good afternoon. Where we work hand in hand with the management and operation team in order to facilitate some activities and get them done as soon as possible in terms of operation, in terms of documentation, and routine. So that's just all.
Thank you, Mr. James.
Now we are headed to the conference center. So this is the president's office.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Philip, for the quick video. I'm sure that we have gained a little knowledge about the Marina Group as a company. It's a group of companies that it has subsidiaries in the agro sector, the oil and gas sector, the media sector, and a whole lot of other sectors which will be made to understand more today. So a quick preview of the profile of Dr. Emerie Agunwah. He sits as the president of Marina Group, a full-blown business expression with multiple interests ranging from oil and gas, banking, consulting, advertising, haulage, hospitality, real estate, e-commerce, and telecommunications. In 2007, he started a non-profit organization called Greater Nigeria Initiatives, aimed at positioning the country and our citizenry for 2025, when Nigeria will become the world's most desirable place to live in. His interest in nation building made him partake in several nation building projects, especially his input in Gemstone, a Fela Dorotoye-led nation building initiative, where he handled several roles at different capacities. Dr. Emerie Agunwah also runs a foundation for the less privileged in the society by equipping them with foodstuff, hygiene materials, and many other articles to assist them scale through their challenges easily. He started a charity arm from the foundation to attend the needs of widows, in particular, helping them to sort out feeding, children's school fees, and house rent issues. The foundation also engaged in developmental training and activities for children in school, with capacity building schemes for academic excellence, and also career, business, and empowerment events for the National Youth Service Corps, that's NYSC, touching and impacting the youths and getting them ready for the role in the emergence of Nigeria as the world's most desirable place to live in 2025. Problem-solving skills, and his high hopes that Nigeria can still be the best place to live and work in. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Emerie. You have quite a wonderful profile, and we believe that we will learn a lot from you today. So we are about to begin the keynote speech without further much ado. So Dr. Emerie, are you with us? Hello, Dr. Emerie. Please permit me to invite Dr. Emerie to give us a keynote speech on the critical thinking and problem solving, a must-have for every successful business. Please be attentive, and whatever question you wish to ask, you can type it in the chat room. Thank you. Dr. Emerie, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher. First of all, I'd like to confirm that that I am audible enough. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you very much, all the great students of Rome Business School. And I would like to start up our conversation because we have a very short time, and to say that every business, my slide is on I'm going to get to that. Every business is in the business of problem solving. There's no business without solving a problem. And we must appreciate that a business is basically profitable because of the perception or how the problem around them is perceived, or the solution to the problem they solve is perceived. So even for the conversation we're going to have this evening, we must understand that problems are positives whenever we're talking about businesses. So when businesses are mentioned, we must understand that when problems are mentioned, we must understand that what is being mentioned are opportunities. If there are no problems, there's no need to have a business. If everybody is fine, then we can as well close shop. And some problems also basically luxury related. Some of them are necessities, but an eye for problem is an eye for opportunities. And whether you run an enterprise or you are part of an enterprise, whether you are an entrepreneur or you're an employee, how you measure success is basically about problems you solved, that you know how to solve. So you either part of the solutions to the problem or part of the problems that we're looking for a solution. There are no two ways. We don't have a third way. Okay. And critical thinking for me is key to growth. Critical thinking is basic for me because everything starts and ends with the thought pattern. If you perceive a problem as a challenge, or if you a problem as a disadvantage, you're obviously never going to find a way to solve it. But if you perceive a problem as a platform to showcase the solutions you carry, then you find yourself growing and amplifying or stretching your mind to find solutions to it. And I know that people on this school are extremely smart people, and they've learned how to use their brain to get concepts and critically find out solutions that can solve problems. So, and my slides are pretty brief, so it wouldn't be a lot bulky. I don't know if it's shifting. Has it shifted? Did it? Okay. Like I said, all businesses are in problem solving. Okay. Or is a problem solving business. So I've moved to this next slide. So this is where I want to spend a bulk of my time, because this is not basically like a presentation where I want to teach. I want to share thoughts with you on how you can perceive problems as opportunities and how you can tweak your mind to find how to critically find solutions to it. So when we talk about critical thinking is not peripheral thinking. Critical thinking is zoning in, okay, looking at options as it is logically, okay, but I put something on the table which is basically beyond logical thinking. It's critical thinking because you analyze, and not only are you thinking of the problem, you're also thinking of how best to deploy solutions to the problems you have. And critical thinking has what I call it a time frame, because when you're thinking critically, you think peripheral thoughts. You also think idiosyncratic thoughts, which is personalized. I also think of chronological, because it has to be period or periodically driven. So options that worked 20 years ago obviously wouldn't work 20 years after. I tell you something which I think is necessary for us to appreciate the scope of how businesses operate and critical thinking. Every 20 years, which is statistically proven, every 20 years we have what they call a complete cycle of events. A business gets to evolve completely. So what it means is that every 20 years, we have a unique set of problems to solve generation-wise. So I can take you back. This is 2021. 20 years ago is 2001. The year 2001, email was a new thing in this country. Okay, not only were we facing the email revolution, we had the telecommunications revolution too. So around 2001, 20 years ago, everybody had their first MTN line, GSM lines. Before then, we were dealing with a unique presentation of problem, which was the Nitel age in the telecoms. Okay, and if you also trace it back to all industries, you realize that around 20 years ago, we also moved from product-driven to service-driven organization. So a lot of companies moved from developing products to caring more about customers. So 20 years ago, the past 20 years, we had a lot of customer-driven conversations, customer experience, customer relations, because the 20 years that finished December 2020 was customer-driven. Okay, every 20 years generates a new level of problem. What it means is that it produces a problem that you have to think critically to know where the direction of trends are. Before that other one, we were in a generation where we dealt more with products. So a lot of companies, the banks, the banking sectors have to walk into the banks to get products, to get your accounts, to do stuff. 20 years ago, the bankers get to you, okay? And but if we take it back, we move what they call the skill period, and then we'll move to, these are about 100 years. I'm giving you flashback of 100 years of how problems evolve and how people quickly became relevant in solving problems. So 100 years ago, we dealt with what they call strength. So it was about physical strength. Systems were built around physical strength, and even people, choice of bosses and champions, and was built around physical strength. Moved from intellectual to skill-based, from skill-based to product, from product cycle, we moved to service cycle. Now we are in a unique set of problem, which I have been investigating for a very, very long time now. And I think we are in what I call the entitled generation. So entitled generation is not service driven, is not product driven. We are dealing with a generation that would bend the rules because they don't want to get up. And if you are generating solutions for industries, you must understand that the people you are dealing with now will rather press their phones or look for solutions on their phone than walk into a physical space. They are the guys who would not naturally they would prefer to tell you when you are recruiting that I work best between 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. They are so centered around themselves. These are critical problems that we're facing that requires critical thinking. Now, as an industry or a business person, entrepreneur, or somebody who's going to be a significant employee in an organization, you must understand trends. And this, for me, this poses a unique problem that needs to be solved critically. I'm going to tell you how to solve these problems because products are the same, but the vehicles that transport the products always change every 20 years. I give you something, one of the illustrations I'm going to put out table. We are 20 years ago, we were in the generation of 9 posts. And every 10 years gives you a clue. Every 10 years gives you a clue of the next cycle. So we moved from the 9 post era, and we embrace the email era. And the truth is that every single thing that an email will do for you, WhatsApp can do a lot better. Okay, what it means that it's moving from paper to DeX devices to mobile devices. And when you must understand how trends are perpetuated, because now we're dealing with 5G that's obviously going to come. 5G is dealing with Internet of Things. Things around us are going to be digitalized in such a way that you might not have to get devices anymore. Things so change, and they change so speedily that critical thinking becomes necessary, because you probably might say, I'm in the advertising industry, but advertising has moved from outdoor to digital. And even the digital is moving a lot more hands-on now to your devices. So people are writing copyright, people are advertising agencies from their homes, people are pushing out, and the world is getting interestingly minimized, okay, minimalized. So we're dealing with a critical problem, which I'd like to put out here. It didn't make it to my case study, and it just came into my mind now, but I've been thinking on it for a very, very long time. We are in a generation that we're facing the critical problem for the banking sector as regards the digital economy and digital currency. Okay, and what the problem we are facing as a country is that the people at the helm of affairs want to solve a 2021 problem with a 1994 ideology. Okay, and what it is that for every cycle produces a different way of thinking. You have to learn how to reinvent yourself, reinvent the wheels. And I must give credit to Mr. Christopher, because what we are doing right now should have been a physical meeting, okay? But we are in a period where you cannot afford to say I won't do anything because of lack of technology, because of lack of movement or accessibility to places. Technology has broken down boundaries, broken down walls, and things are moving. Okay, and what it means is that systems are broadening up and markets are also broadening up. So for the first time in the history of human race, somebody can have an office in Lagos State, Nigeria, and be directly dealing with a client in the United Kingdom, and it will look as if nothing changed. Okay, and for me, these are the interesting ways of looking at problems. So every day, every cycle produces a unique problem. We've moved from the conventional thought patterns that could solve the problem. So if you are smart, some 20 years ago, I'd advise you to review trends, review where the industries are moving, and figure out of where's the direction that things that you can critically deploy your mind or your intellect to solve a problem, because problems come not because the solution you provided earlier didn't work, but because time chronologically tampers with the process, with what was normal. So I remember growing up, we had, if you want to play music, you have to get an iPod. If you want to snap, you're going to get a camera. If you want to do everything, like you have to get a lot of devices, your notepad, your organizers. But now a smartphone has a iPod, a music player in it, a camera in it, a to-do list in it, an alarm clock in it. Every single thing that you need to buy as external devices are in one device right now. And with this now, you're obviously going to see that we are moving a lot more closer to personalized services, that people now, instead of paying for cable televisions, they are doing Netflix. These are customized. These are critical problems that the world has seen ahead of us, provided critical thinking that brought out critical solutions, and they've changed the way things are done completely. So the guys we call billionaires now, the guys who started advancing, and they have a step forward into the way things are done. They put one leg in front and they critically solve the problem. So with this framework, I think I can shoot to a few ways to solve problems. And if I have any question, I would appreciate. Yeah, it's a long. The concept of critical thinking is not something you can shrink in 35 minutes and do justice to it. But while we're at it, we're looking at three ways of solving business problems. Three ways. Okay. I must tell you these are very simple ways, and one of them is what I call the direct way, the direct approach. Direct approach means you look at a problem head on and you solve it. So for instance, somebody needs to feed and you are hungry. A direct approach is cook a meal and sell to the person. That is direct approach. Okay. Somebody needs to urinate. These things generate a lot of, these are basic way of solving problems, and they tamper with your critical analysis and your cognitive intellectualities. Okay, because if you go to a crowded area, people obviously will need to use the restroom. You put out a public toilet in that place is a direct approach. Okay, now, so what we do is that some persons might have a box to only direct approach. That's why people do not morph. You employ somebody who thinks direct approach, and all the solutions he sees are direct approach. And the truth is that direct approach solves a lot of problems. But if it solves all problems, then there wouldn't be need for the next type of solution, approach to solving problems. Okay, direct approach solves a lot of problems. You go straight to it, you solve it, and you get paid. Okay, or if you're looking for a job, you go submit your CV, sit down in the office 9 to 5, end of the month, you get paid. Direct approach. But there's another one I call the intermediary approach, which is also very interesting because that has also opened up conversations to intellectual conversations when it gets to business. And that is what a lot of guys are putting on the table. we call it agency. Agency is the file or intermediaries or middleman. What it is that I know who has the solution to the problem. I know who has the problem, and I become the middleman. Okay, and I am not saying I own the solution. I am clear on who has the solution. I want you to know who has the house. Another person knows who needs a house. The person becomes a real estate agent and links the two of them, and he gets a commission in the middle. Jumia knows who needs transportation. So Jumia knows who needs the vendors. Jumia also knows who needs the goods. Jumia becomes the link between the vendors and the people who needs the goods. Uber knows who, Uber or Bolt or Taxify, as the case may be, they know who has the ride, they know who needs the ride, and they link both of you. They never lay claim that they own the cars. So that they're exonerated from the challenges of the cars, but they link two of you and they get a commission in the middle. Another way to solve a business problem. And the third one is what I call the indirect approach. Indirect approach is the core of businesses we have in the third world countries, okay? Because we don't have the solution, and we are not matured enough to explain to the person who has the problem, who has the solution. So what we do is that we become the face of the solution. So the person who has the problem thinks you are the solution, but you just know who has the solution. For instance, if you get a conventional printer to print for you, what the printer will do for you is that he will tell you, I'm a printer, but he is not a printer. So he would negotiate with a printer on a rate and get the job for you as if he's a printer. So when he comes out, what he puts that he puts a certain level of pressure for him. Then the markup may be a little bit too high, but he becomes the primary risk bearer of the business. And when you are primary risk bearer of the business, what it means is that the day you leave as an indirect operator or indirect problem solver, the person you've been solving the problem for does not have an idea who provides the solution. And the moment you leave the equation, there's no continuity. So the person starts off afresh, as if he's just starting off from the one. I've seen a lot of African businesses, that's what happens, a lot of African businesses, the moment the owner, the moment the pioneer, the moment the person who is the face of the indirect operation leaves the equation, the business cannot continue. You do not even know. If you're talking with the teller, the guy puts up the face that he's a teller, he measures you, gets on your dimensions, but he gives it to another guy who makes clothes for him. Now, when this guy leaves the equation, you still want to maintain the type of expression you used to have, but you cannot maintain it because you do not know who solved the problem. So what in the Western world, this was how they started the operations, a lot of that. But what they did was what they call standardization. They started to standardize their expectation from their vendors. So what it means is that they can now have multiple vendors, case in point, Tommy Hilfiger, or Gucci, or Ralph Lauren by Polo, Polo by Ralph Lauren. They have multiple vendors, but they standardize expectation from these multiple vendors so that you don't even know who gets the job done, but the job comes out in a standardized manner. That is the framework for franchising. Okay, but I don't want to go into all those because obviously the class just is about to start now, about to move into a deep end, and time is of essence right now. So let me not go further on that. And please let me know, Mr. Christopher, when I have 5 minutes to go. Is all right? I can't hear you.
Yes, you still have like 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes to go. So obviously I can't do justice to this test, to this slides right now. But all I'm trying to say is that every generation or dispensation provides a unique approach to problem. And what I want you to go home with, if you're going to go on with anything this evening, is how to customize solutions for each problem. Never assume that what worked yesterday is going to work today. Never assume that the approach that you deploy to solve a problem yesterday is ever going to is the same, because the people you are dealing with, consumer behavior has changed. Consumer behavior changes. This is statistics now. Changes every 3 months. Consumer behavior changes every 3 months. People get bored, not because your product is wrong, but because they want a new thing. People get bored not because the thing you provide is old, but because they want to try out something new. That's the concept of people trying out new restaurants in town. It's not as if the old restaurants are not doing proper food dishes. It's just that consumer behavior changes. So I want you to go with these 3 things, apart from the indirect, direct approach, and also the intermediary, to know that any problem that comes to you, you must ask, when is the expiry date of this solution? Ensure that you provide the expiry date before your consumers provide the expiry date for you. Number 2, you must ensure what exactly will this solution that I'm providing contribute. It must be clear in clear terms to the consumer. And sorry, I think my time is up. How much time do I have now? I have to stop now. So let me, if there are questions for me, okay. If there's questions, let me not go over deep. And you have questions for me, I can now.
We'll come to the Q&A session. Thank you very much, Dr. Emerie. We would like to have 2 of your key company representatives to talk to us. Mr. Harrison, are you on? Hello, Mr. Harrison, are you on? Okay, while we are still waiting for Mr. Harrison to join us, please, Mr. Shino, are you on, please?
Good afternoon.
Hello. I think one of you should off your or mute yourself, please.
Okay. So my name is Shino.
You're welcome, Mr. Shino.
Sales Director for Marina Group.
Sorry, before you proceed, Dr. Emerie, please, can you remove your, can you unshare the screen, please? Thank you. You can go on, Mr. Shino.
Just to refer to my boss, our approach is very simple. Our approach is approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her or their businesses and solve their problems and achieve a goal. The idea here is not about the money we are making. The idea is that we have to keep solving problems, because that's why we are here. Our business have always been circled around oil and gas, banking, hospitality, and strictly B2B. And over time, we've noticed that most of our clients approach us with the mindset of they have a low budget, and it's our duty for us to work with whatever thing they have. And just our doctors have said, our business has always evolved around solving problems. And that is what is our satisfaction. And our satisfaction to customers is what the joy they get after we provided these services. So in this slide, we would like to say Marina Group have grown over the time because we never say no to any kind of business that come our way. We've approached each business just as it comes. I'll make sure that we deliver to the utmost priority. We don't, just like the Chinese approach, we work with any budget that comes, and we believe we have everything in our capacity to deliver. And just as the Nigerian approach, we don't turn back, we don't turn our backs on businesses. We make sure that we give, over time, we've also tried as much as possible to also expand our horizon in terms of the services we provide. And that's always been a very good thing. The direct approach, just as our doctors have said, it's what is more common these days, because we saw that businesses in Nigeria rely on the small scale industry. And we all know that we focus in Nigeria, we focus more on we have more of the small, medium enterprises, which are doing well. But our government has failed to realize that the microeconomics is the one driving this economy, except if we are just going to be deceiving ourselves. The macro itself is just a fraction of what is going on. Like for me, for example, we also always want to chase the big industry. But for some years now, about 3 or 5 years now, we discovered that we need to calm down and approach businesses that are growing, maybe from 5 to 10 or 5 to 20 staff strength, and we'll see how it's going over time. I believe with what Dr. has said, we all see the loopholes in our economy and what is going on. And just as it's happening now, the banking industry is experiencing a lot of changes. The banking industry is, currently they're running an agency approach. They try to decentralize everything to make sure that the service they offer is more going to be working towards the agency networking and the rest. So we are also changing our tactics to make sure that our business grow in that light. Due to the changes as a result of the pandemic, we discovered that we've also been able to achieve a lot because we are a problem solver. People have had issues for the past year that how will their business grow? What do they need? What's the next level? We're able to help companies the like of Magnum batteries to achieve such, making sure that they transit to this current situation we have in the economy. And that's always been the best thing we've always been doing to our clients and all over the place. So I don't know how much time did I have left? I have just a few minutes left. So thank you, coordinator, and I think with this approach, we're able to understand the whole idea of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shino. Thank you, Mr. Shino. I don't know if Mr. Harrison has joined us. Mr. Harrison, are you there, please?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, please.
Hello,
go ahead.
can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so Marina Group, one of our core strengths is using technology to drive our processes. Yes, to make our work easier, faster, and delivering good services. So first thing, there's what they call ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. It's like a software that organizations use to manage day-to-day business activities. Yeah, so there are different ways in which ERPs can help your business grow or help you manage your business well, properly. Yeah, it can help you can have prompt access to information and data. It makes it easier for everyone to access any type of business-related data or information. You know, employees or managers can access the necessary data and information on their fingertips by using different software, different ERPs. A lot of ERPs out there that you can use for your businesses on a daily basis. So you can have prompt access to information and data using different ERPs. This is one of our core strengths here at Marina Group. We leverage on technology a lot. We leverage on technology. So it can give you, it can help your business save costs. There's what they call business process automation. It's another way technology transform the business processes and operations. Yeah, company can get various business related jobs done automatically with fewer human interactions. So you don't have to be always present when you want to do something. I can be at home and use my software to perform a task. You know, it helps us save a lot of time. It helps us work effectively. And there are a lot of software and tech solutions available that help businesses at settings and companies to complete repetitive tasks more efficiently and in less time. You know, in this way, companies can produce more in less time without recruiting more employees. They can help you save your cost. They can help you save money. So this is one of our core strengths here at Marina Group. We use technology to make sure we do more with less time, make sure we do more with less resources. You know? So in technology, you have what they call reduced downtime failures. You know, that Internet of Things that makes things easier for us and makes it easy for us to do more with less in our time. Again, so with technology also, you won't come to our office and be seeing papers flying around because everything we do here is automated. You don't have to be you don't have to be saving data on paper or writing paper, having files up in everywhere. So we have softwares that we use for all these purposes. So I implore everyone to always leverage on different ERPs out there, different softwares for your technology. So I think it's one of our core strengths here at Marina Group. It's one of our core strengths here. We leverage on technology a lot, and I implore everyone to always use technology. So thank you, moderator, and over to you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. We appreciate the effort you put into brief us today. Okay, so we'll be moving to the Q&A session. I'm yet to see questions coming up on the chat as we agreed, but if you have questions, please do indicate, please. Any questions or comments? Please, if you have questions now, if you have questions, please, you can ask. Please. Okay, so in absence of any further question, I believe that there is a link that has been sent to the chat room. You can please click on the link and give us a feedback or your feedback for today's event. And for those that are joining us late, I noticed that a lot of people joined us at different times. Please do click on the link for you to get a recording link of today's company visit event. So without much further ado, let's move to the next agenda, because I can see that time is far spent. Let's go to the next agenda. Thank you from one of the MBA students. Please, do we have any MBA students online? Any MBA students with us, please? Okay, we'll be expecting most of the students to comment. Okay, let's get the closing remarks from the country director, because I can see some people are still online, but yet to make any comment. Let's go to, so Dr. Humphrey, you're welcome, sir. Okay, Augustine. Okay, you're welcome. Dr. Humphrey, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Edusi. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful opportunity to have you in our midst, Dr. Emerie Agunwah, the president of Marina Group. It's an honor to have you talk to our students this afternoon and allow us the opportunity to see what you do in your company and to share experiences with you. We always go home excited when we listen to people like you. We always want to invite people like you over and over again to talk to our students. Our mission is to raise entrepreneurs and high-profile professionals like you. And I believe that your words, your presence, and being in our midst this afternoon will motivate a lot of our students to aspire to reach the mile you have reached in your life. I'm really, really excited. And if I say I've not gotten something that will even change my whole style of leadership to a better one, I will be lying. Thank you very much, Doctor. We want to see you more. I know that the career service will not just let you go like that. They will always come back to ask for more. Thank you, our executive students, very brilliant and wonderful students who always aspire for ways to change the country to a better place for all of us. We have good students who are conscious of nation building, and our aim here, our objective is to make sure that if you pass through Rome Business School, you will make the world a better place by becoming better managers. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Dr. Emerie, I don't know if you have any parting words before we go.
Okay, can you hear me? Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Obviously, just to answer the lady's question in 1 minute, is that right?
It's all right, you can go on, Doctor.
So she said, how do we identify when customers' priorities or taste or preference is about to change, and what can be done to redeem this? Okay, human beings are creatures of pattern. We are creatures of pattern. And if you take your time to study pattern, you will figure out, even in your own self, your pattern. When you have money, you know you withdraw 20,000. When your money is low, you withdraw 5 grand. When money comes in, you get back to the pattern, okay? So what we need to do is a little bit of paying attention to consumer behavior, okay? And what we're trying to say is there are ones that are already cast on stone, which is trend driven, okay? trend driven is not as if you follow all manner of trends or people do stuff, or saying these are where the world is headed. Okay, you must be able to, and there are a couple of documents that give you some of this stuff and neat analysis. So you must learn how to study. At least every country has direction by your country budget. You should know where your economy is headed by the budget, and also use World Economic Forum reports to figure out where businesses are headed and the economy is headed globally. Or you can also use what they call Global Peace Index report. Okay, use Global Peace Index report to figure out this analysis and the things that are needed. Right now, every Nigeria is in survival. If you are selling something that is luxury goods, the market has shrinked. Okay, so there are a lot of things. Just a little bit of you get some of this stuff. Documents help aid you, but I also know that as you start looking into some of this stuff, you find a lot. You understand the pattern, how human beings operate. Okay, and thank you very much, Mr. Christopher, and the extremely intelligent students of Rome Business School. I am humbled to be in your midst. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Blessings.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I believe the students online will want to express their gratitude. Please, you can do that now. And for the lady that asked the question, I believe that your question has been answered. So we are coming to a close. You can use this opportunity to express your gratitude. So I'll begin. Thank you so much, Dr. Emerie, for granting us audience today. And also thank your team. We also thank your team for their participation, particularly Mr. Harrison and Mr. Shino. I'm also made aware that your HR was unable to make it due to the maybe personal problems, but I believe and hope that everything will be fine. So Dr. Emerie, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please, for those of their participants, please do endeavor to click on the link and give us a feedback. Your feedback is very important for us. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Thank you so much for making today possible. I also want to thank my HOD. I'm sure she's online as well. Thank you so much, Ms. Ngozi Odupe. God bless you, ma. And all the staff of Rome Business School who are here and present, thank you so much. So you can close, you can leave the chat room. Thank you so much and have a blessed weekend. Thank you, Doctor.
The business world and the very dynamic and The Executive MBA program is 1 year, designed for busy professionals, allows them to concentrate on business and also acquire new innovative skills. Our programs have been accredited by major international organizations like European Foundation for Management Development, European Union, Principles for Responsible Management Education, European Association for Distance Learning, Project Management Institute, PMI, among others. The registration process has been simplified, with our career service expert there to guide you along. We offer a flexible learning plan, 100% online or on campus, that makes it easy for you to juggle learning with your regular job. Our alumni body gives you an array of industry professionals to interact with, learn from, and network with. To get started, visit our website, www.romebusinessschool.ng. You can send an email to nigeria@romebusinessschool.it or call 09067556524. You can also start your enrollment here, www.enrollment.romebusinessschool.ng. Rome Business School, better managers for a better world.